They gave a human the Galactic Service Medal. Part 2. Welcome back to SciFi Humanity. Today we continue our deep dive into an extraordinary story that's been making waves across the galaxy. In Part 2 of They Gave a Human the Galactic Service Medal, we explore the remarkable journey of Private John William Ringuette, a young soldier who made history with his bravery and sacrifice during the Eskaido Conflict. From his early days of training to his harrowing experiences on the battlefield, this segment sheds light on the incredible courage of one human amidst the chaos of intergalactic warfare. Stay tuned as we unravel the story behind the medal that has everyone talking. General Karn sat in his office. The floor-to-ceiling window that lined the far wall displayed a sprawling metropolis that sat at the galactic core. He looked down at the book resting in his claws, reading the title again, The Eskaido Conflict, a first-hand account, written by Private John Ringuette. After witnessing the award ceremony the day prior, he had decided to pick up what would be his first piece of human literature. He really was looking forward to seeing that particular human yesterday, but at the time it had been for the wrong reasons. Now he had a different rationale for wanting to meet him, but that would not be possible. As meaningful as the ceremony was, the actual speech had been rather brief. Before attending, he would have been glad if someone told it would be short. He now knows that such a brief recollection of events did not do this human's actions justice. He remembered his own acceptance speech being nearly 3 hours long, and included various celebrations throughout it, as he covered every detail of his command decisions during his tenure in the Outer Belt Rebellion. But this award had differed greatly from every other galactic honor medal that had been given. This was the first time it had been given to someone who was not an officer, and not even a non-commissioned officer at that. This wasn't given to someone who had the luxuries of a command post off-world in a pristine office or a comfortable room aboard the galaxy's strongest dreadnought. This was given to someone who had been in the dirt and the mud and the blood. One who had seen the worst the galaxy has to offer and made something that mattered out of it. He poured himself a glass of methane-infused tea and leaned back in his chair, curling his scaled tail into a comfortable position. He opened the book and began to read the words written by the recently deceased soldier. Below are excerpts taken from the Eskaido Conflict, a first-hand account written by Galactic Honor recipient Private John William Ringuette during his short time on Eskaido. Additional quotes are sourced from surviving Eskaido soldiers and Terran military documents, along with statistical analyses of the conflict. February 28, 2287 Terran Standard Calendar. I wasn't always sure what I was going to end up doing. I mean, I knew I'd join the army. My dad was in the army and his dad before him and so on. But I didn't know exactly what I would end up doing, if that makes any sense. 20 years with no combat, a boring desk job after 10. Where's the fun in that? I wanted to do the things that kids read about in history books growing up. That's why I chose the infantry. I thought about the Navy too, loved pirates since I was a kid. Hell, I still am a kid. Maybe I joined to stand out, get noticed, which is pretty damn hard when you got 15 brothers and sisters all under the same roof. I joined up as early as I could, got my parents to sign the forms at 17, and a few months later I found myself here at Fort Benavides. Training isn't bad, but sure was harder than running track for my high school back in Boston. Met some great guys here, only a few of us got an OD slot. Never thought I'd get the chance to see some action so early, but I've always wanted to do the things that a soldier's supposed to do, so this is my chance. We get our duty stations tomorrow. All but a few of us are going to Eskaido. All the boys are excited, talking about all the aliens that they're gonna kill. I'm one of the ones that got an OD slot, so I'll actually get a real fucking combat jump. My brother is going to be so jealous when I get back with an orbital strike combat patch. March 2287 Easy Co 395 class consisted of 235 infantry graduates. 198 of them were sent to Eskaido, all ages 17 to 20. Only 26 survived. E395 in. Training Co. March graduates 2287. March 7th, 2287 Terran Standard Calendar. Well, I passed orbital drop school. It was everything that I was expecting it to be and more. A welcome change of pace compared to infantry school, though. The food was better, we ran a lot more, which was fine by me. It was funny finishing all the runs minutes ahead of the other guys. I just sat there yelling at them, cheering them on when they passed the finish line. Sometimes the black hats would talk to me to pass the time. Other times they just said good job and left it at that. I wasn't really looking for their validation, but it was cool to get it. Guess all that time I spent running finally paid off, which is a good feeling. They say we're going to be at Eskaido in less than a week. I'm getting nervous as it's getting closer. I mean, this is the first war that we've been in for almost a century. I finally understand how those soldiers felt back during D-Day and World War II. I wonder what it's like off-world. I don't know much about Eskaido, but I think I remember some other guys saying it's cold. We've only been involved with all these different aliens for a few years, and we're already getting into a fight. I'm no politician, but I'm not sure that's a great look for intergalactic politics if you ask me. Oh well, all I gotta worry about is the cold, and I don't do well with the cold. But I guess it's my job to be uncomfortable. Now I just gotta embrace it. During Eskaido, our paradroppers had a 75% fatality rate. If they survived entry, then they were often killed before joining up with their squad. 60% of paradroppers had less than 3 months of training. LT Koho and Ale Mickey Hayes when asked about Eskaido paradroppers. March 12, 2287 Terran Standard Calendar. Fuck, today was surreal. It honestly felt like a dream. Maybe fever dream would be the better way to describe it. We were all crammed into that shuttle when we reached orbit. We couldn't see outside to know what was going on. Just had to trust our pilot to get us over the drop zone. We had a shaky entry, and the shuttle sounded like it was going to tear itself apart. We all lined up at the door as we felt the dropship heating up. Once we got the go-ahead, we were pushed out the door one by one. I looked up to see the shuttle itself nearly melted as the last few almost made it out. Then I got my first look at Eskaido. I saw the vast white expanse of ice and rocky hills that littered the landscape. Fuck yes, and fighting on Hoth. That's a cool way to look at this. Some cities were visible in the distance, but the biggest thing I noticed was the tracer fire. Well, I thought it was tracers. Turns out that was superheated plasma. Other shuttles weren't as lucky as ours, and several other paratroopers pulled too early, and their chutes got burned up by some stray shots. I waited for my altimeter to start beeping before I pulled the chute, just like I'd been trained. I hit the ground. I'd done 2 drops before, but fuck, landing on rocks hurts a lot more than soft grass. There wasn't any cover around, but thankfully I was in a pretty secluded area. I pulled out my Terra map and started making my way to the rally point. As much as I loved rucking, I wasn't too keen on walking 12 miles in an active war zone all by myself. Oh well, just gotta embrace it. I got to the patrol base a few hours ago, chafing like a motherfucker and just wanting to stop walking. We had most of the platoon out here by the time I arrived. I had never actually met them before today. They didn't say much in the shuttle, but they said there was supposed to be a lot more of us. We holed up in the snow that night. I was thankful that we got issued the Arctic dropsuit for this, and yet my hands are still trembling from the cold as I hold this pencil right now. Yeah, it was about -40 during the day to maybe -80 at night when I was on Eskaido. Celsius, so I guess that's around -100 for you Americans. I remember sometimes someone would get shot, and they wouldn't bleed. Come to find out, the blood in the wound had already frozen solid the second it touched the air. GT Takeshi, Tiny Man Munamori, when recalling Eskaido. March 14th, 2287 Terran Standard Calendar. I killed one today. Well, I think I did. I shot one today might be a better way to say it. To be honest, it was kind of hard to tell. He was so far off in the distance, and wind really whipped around the snow, so it was really hard to see anything. The thermal goggles barely even work after 100 meters. He was running across a road maybe 500 out. I took the shot, and he fell down but slowly dragged himself to his feet. I think I was too stunned to shoot him a second time. I don't know why I didn't, but it didn't feel as good as I thought it would. Didn't feel like anything, but it's not like I was looking him in his eyes when I shot him. Do they even have eyes? Maybe they have something entirely different. Other than that, I still don't know what they look like. It looked tall. I think they're supposed to be reptilian or maybe amphibian. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a biologist. That was really all that happened today. TL says we're heading into a town here soon to look for signs of civilians. I wonder what the Eskaidians look like. I guess technically that's why I'm here. For them, that is. It's just weird thinking that I'm supposed to be here to save a species that I've never seen or heard of before. And now I'm fighting a species I've also never seen or heard of, until I shot one. For many in Eskaido, this was their first experience off-world. At the time of the conflict, only the most privileged and elite had been able to travel to other systems. Many who joined the war effort came from families who could not afford to go off-world, hoping for a chance to see the stars. They had no way of knowing just how brutal Eskaido would be. Quote from Political Inequality in a Galactic World by May J. Matt Anderson. Thank you for joining us on this emotional and enlightening journey. Private John William Ringuette's story is a testament to the resilience and bravery that defines humanity in the face of unimaginable adversity. His actions during the Eskaido conflict have left an indelible mark on the galaxy, earning him a place of honor among the stars. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What does bravery mean to you? Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of our universe.